Rapmore gang, still no update in the David case. Some people are getting very frustrated with the lack of an update in the David case, and now people are starting to say maybe something fishy is going on with the police. Now, I don't want any smoke with the LAPD, but okay, private investigator Steve Fisher is apparently claiming that something is very off with this case. He's not feeling good about it, and people are speculating maybe there is a deeper reason as to why no arrest has been made. So this is a post on David Yates. It says, private investigator Steve Fisher goes even further. It says, something seems very off. I'm not feeling good about things. Someone said, have you been noticing this happening in multiple cases in all states in regards to law enforcement not responding or getting warrants? He says, this one feels different. Something seems very off, stating the obvious. I'm not feeling good about things. Okay, and this is in response to a question on X about a possible pattern of law enforcement not responding to cases like the reported murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And Steve had a longer post that he had up. Basically here it says, Steve was expressing extreme frustration with official progress or lack thereof relative to crimes against and death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He said, today, this is yesterday, today is January the 15th, 2026, and still no one has been charged or even officially named as a suspect for harboring a minor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, filing a false police report, committing sex crimes against a minor, concealing a body, homicide, or acting as an accessory to any of these crimes in connection with the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. At this point, it can't even be called a case. Hashtag Celeste Rivas Hernandez, hashtag David, hashtag fail. Okay? And I agree. Honestly, I agree. What the fuck is going on? Why is nothing going on? Is the community safe? Because it doesn't seem like the community is safe. Doesn't seem like they're keeping the community safe. Doesn't seem like they're holding people accountable. It seems like you can just have a body in your trunk and go about your business. It's disgusting. I'm sick of it. Honestly, I'm actually sick of it. People are saying, I'm not saying declare guilt without evidence, but the lack of visible progress or communication in a case involving a minor's death is deeply troubling. Process and transparency matters. Like, what the hell at this point? This shit won't move at all until 2027. What the fuck is going on? I agree. It says the LA District Attorney has been busy bringing charges in numerous cases, except Celeste's, just since Nick Reiner was charged with killing his parents. Yes, Nepo babies hacking their parents to bits. They can solve that shit quick time. But famous singer with a dead body of a teenage minor who was a runaway in the trunk of his car parked outside around the corner from his crib. Oh no, can't possibly get to the bottom of this. What a joke. It says, why are they so quiet about this case? No other case is handled like this. Numerous other murder cases have came and went. Under the jurisdiction of LAPD, only Celeste has his strange shroud of secrecy. I have a feeling it's not just one person involved. It's not even two. I would not be surprised at all if the number of people ran into the double digits. He was saying filing a false police report. Is he talking about reporting Celeste missing or something else? I think that's what he's talking about. But people are saying, I'm not sure. My first thought is he was referring to filing a police report that his car was stolen. I only say this because David allegedly told an acquaintance that he doesn't know anything about the body found in his car because his car was stolen. This says, someone here said Rehab. Who was that? I'm going to find it right now. It's the only thing that's been giving me hope. They know where he is and they've been waiting for the exact second that he's released from rehab. If anyone here has any law enforcement experience that can make sense of that, let me know. So this is another post that says, David under surveillance. I think he's in rehab. Blair Burke has a history of representing clients who cannot participate in investigations or court hearings because they're receiving inpatient treatment for substance abuse. Now that's really interesting. This is a post called David under surveillance. I've been stuck wondering how someone in a position like him who hasn't been arrested or taken in yet, hasn't run away or taken his own life yet, especially given the amount of time he's had from the time that they found the body up until now, especially after it's been announced that he was likely to be indicted. It makes me wonder if he's under surveillance, which may be extreme, but it might make a little sense. We already know that he wasn't cooperating with law enforcement, so it seems to me this is just going to get messier as time's gone on. And to be honest, I'm worried that when he gets indicted, he's going to plead insanity based on the type of person he's shown us he is. So they're saying in the comments that this person that you might be getting some rehab, and maybe if it's an inpatient treatment for substance abuse, he might not be immune from arrest, but maybe it's like, oh, well, you know, they can negotiate with the cops and say, well, he's receiving inpatient treatment. You can't really arrest him and blah, 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 blah. This is a solid guess. The drug addict defense, he'll say he can't remember. That would explain why nobody has seen him. Yeah, the poster is onto something. They're saying he's randomly been on Snapchat. People saying they've never been to a facility. Are they allowed phones? It says, I can guarantee they will not plead insanity as it will hurt his case, but the case is built on a lot of circumstantial evidence and he needs to appear sane for his defense to be believed. People saying that's not a defense. He was aware he was purchasing drugs that could result in severe mental incapacitation, but not void of charges due to uses. Drug addicts every day face charges they truly don't remember taking part in. It's tragic that many of them don't remember the beforehand, but they're still doing time. But that's a really interesting point that he might be in rehab. It's the first I've heard of that, and I do think that makes a lot of sense. It says, whoever the DA of LA County is needs to be removed ASAP. Never seen such a clear and shut case with the suspect not in custody after several months. Update. So he was made a suspect just to not be made one again. I don't think he ever has been. It says LAPD is afraid of Satan. All right, that's what they're saying. All right. It says, if he doesn't get locked up for this, I will 100% believe he sold his soul and this was some kind of ritual. Grow up. It says, when Steve says committing SX crimes, does he know something or we don't? A 13-year-old cannot consent. That's facts. And then I won't show you these, but basically these are some pretty damning messages. So Steve is fuming, all right? And this is the other thread about his response. He says something is very off about this case, right? People saying the minute they allowed David to prance around on that stage on tour after finding Celeste badly decomposing remains inside of his car, we knew this shit wouldn't go by the book. Keep applying pressure. That's the only way anyone's ever going to feel any of it. Someone saying, I have a bad feeling about all of this as well. I don't even have the inside information that SF does. I got the first bad taste in my mouth when we noticed the LAPD didn't take a camera with pics of Celeste on it from his house. Exactly. They didn't take several things. I also had that feeling. Same feeling when I followed past cases from Cali. They're really sus. I hope we hear more news, but it's been dry. So sometimes I think about this case and in the end I don't reach any conclusions. Sometimes it seems like he's been stupid enough to leave her in his car, but sometimes not. Sometimes it makes me think he really knew what he was doing or who was with him. And I saw a lawyer commenting on the case and it gives the feeling that this case won't be solved. What a disturbing story. Yep, the cops left behind very important evidence. More people are probably involved too. We have to keep hoping that things are in the works and people will be held accountable. But I think there will be justice for Celeste, hopefully, and more missing children too. People saying from the beginning, I had a bad feeling about this case in case somebody is being held responsible, but I could be wrong. But that feeling won't go away. Poor girl, she was surrounded by bad people. They're saying, yeah, the last person who drove the Tesla should have been arrested and interrogated months ago. A body was found in another tow yard in LA the same week as Celeste. LAPD arrested that woman 2 days after the body was discovered. Some people are saying the LAPD are corrupt, saying Steve Fisher needing attention today and know some of you hang on his every word, stating the obvious and being vague as always. I don't care what his motives are. At least someone is still talking about Celeste. Facts. He's keeping her name alive. I'm doing the same thing. And I just want to make this very clear. David would love for us to just shut up and stop talking about this. We ain't never going to stop talking about this. I don't care if David didn't do it, all right? We need to know what's going on. We need to hear from David, all right? If David's not in cuffs for this murder, then I'm going to need to see an interview with David talking about what the fuck happened. What was this minor doing around you? What was she doing? I don't care if it's a Breakfast Club interview. I don't care if it's a police interrogation tape. We need answers. We got to keep this little girl's name alive. And any suggestion that we shouldn't be talking about this is baloney. Don't give me that, oh, why are you talking about this? Oh, you're milking it. Nah, we're going to keep this in everybody's brain until this shit is solved, okay? I'm not saying that I'm part of the plan to solve this case, but for the love of God, for us to be able to live in a society and have confidence in the systems that keep us safe, can't have 14-year-old girls bodies being found in trunks of cars and people just going off on their tour, going off to rehab, going off with their life. Absolutely not. Absolutely no chance, all right? No chance, okay? So there's been a lot of stuff that's been going around and I do want to just share a couple of things. So before people start getting back to the, oh, well, you know, if there was evidence on David, they would have arrested him by now. Well, we've seen what is enough, to me personally, this is my personal opinion, all right? But in my personal opinion, I've seen enough for me to personally have just a personal belief that David was in a relationship with a minor. I've seen enough to believe that, okay? And it seems like if that's really what was going on, everyone around him in his circle normalized this, everyone enabled this, and everybody needs to face justice. If the LAPD investigation has taken time because they want to bring justice against his whole team and the people at the label, people on his management, the people in his family that enabled him to have a relationship with a minor, then great, 'cause everybody needs to go down for that. Now, this is a post on Dave Idiots that I just wanted to read on that vein. Okay, it says, it's insane that his whole circle normalizes PDF behavior. This is an emotional rant, no information, but I do want to just get this across. I still cannot believe that David's family saw this child hanging around him, literally someone random, not a family friend, but a random kid he met online. He was living with her, had her backstage, introduced her to his friend group and members like his brother, and everyone didn't bat an eye to the fact that he's hanging out with and dating a child. Who knows how young they met her? He might have been bringing her around at 13 years old, being an adult, and everybody yes-manned him, didn't bat an eye, and probably greeted her with a smile, shrugged it off, even though they know damn well deep inside he's effing with some child off the streets. She had literally nobody. Her so-called family condoned her behavior by not laying down the law that you can't run away with a grown man and then want to go to Six Flags with that man and take pics together like everything's fine. Her family, besides the minors, all didn't give a F enough to make her understand that her home is her home until she's an adult, and running off to be with a random internet man is dangerous and sick. They all knew he was being physically intimate with her. Nobody can't guess from all the couple of pics, likes, and interactions that even fans have never seen behind the scenes. There is so much behind the scenes that we don't know about how involved he was in real life with his circle of family and friends, and everyone just co-signed it. Maybe some of Celeste's family knew it was sick, but was scared of his power, and I can give that to them, but mainly everyone just smiling in pics, chilling in concert vids, standing around them are just forever captured in pics and videos of a murderer and his victim forever. The ones are aware of her age, or that she wasn't emotionally mature past 18. I could not live like that. People are saying apparently the whole government normalizes this. We ain't trying to get into that debate today. But it says, yes, they absolutely normalized the PDF behavior. I noticed this back in September. I wanted to post about it, but I wasn't sure how well it would be received. Thanks for this. It's saying this is something I've noticed and inquired about regarding David's original Discord that was available for fans. There was a lot of jokes about being a PDF, and it was weird how normal everyone acted. What type of people joke about that? Then I remember last year or maybe 2 years ago, there was a whole drama about Mr. Beast and similar PDF jokes that were made in a Discord or work chat. It's weird in a non-conspiracy but weird way. Both internet celebrities who seem geared to kids. It's just weird to me, right? Super weird. Normalized behavior, right? If no one's going to be held accountable for her death, he damn well should just be for his relationship with her alone. America's disgusting. Justice for Celeste. Yes, you're right. I've heard about his brother trying to help her, but not sure. I completely agree with everything you said. I think it's people like us that need to keep reminding everyone that things were going on behind the scenes. Justice for Celeste. All right. And people are still wondering, why is there no information out there? Why is there no update? This is the LAPD subreddit. Does anyone else have information on the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case? David is involved, but they don't want to say that he is. Why don't they want to say? I ain't seen this picture before. I'm not going to lie. That could be AI. It's ridiculous. It's been almost a year this girl has passed away and no one can arrest him. I'm sick of this. She needs justice. People are saying arrest means nothing. The investigators have to make sure the case is proven beyond a reasonable doubt in the court of law. The real justice is for the investigators to find the truth. It has been 4 months since her body was discovered. There's likely multiple people involved and they're still collecting evidence. They can't just arrest him because people feel he's guilty. People are saying it's a homicide investigation. They aren't just going to do press conferences updating what they have. They will do the investigation, and once they feel it's good to go, they will make an arrest. Once an arrest is made, they only have so much time to present the case to the DA. The good thing we do know is that he was named as a suspect, which means at least as far as the public's concerned, he's under investigation for being a potential killer. So I'm honestly just so frustrated with this case. I'm so frustrated with how long this has taken. I've seen so much. Maybe I'm too close to this case and I'm getting emotional, but I've seen so much that just makes me question, why is this person out here? Like, is he in rehab? Is that why they can't arrest him? Is there a loophole that if you immediately go to rehab and you're in an inpatient facility, they can't arrest you? That would be absolute insanity. I'm going to need to dig into that and find out what's going on with that. But if David is in rehab, okay, that can't last forever. If that's the reason they haven't arrested him, or if there's some other reason, everybody is just thinking something isn't right about this, okay? There's something not right. Something just isn't adding up about this case. Why isn't the LAPD arresting him if it seems like he did it? Maybe there isn't evidence on him. Maybe someone else did it. Genuinely, if somebody else did do this, and I'm open-minded to the possibility that maybe David's innocent of murder, I feel like I've seen enough to see that he was in a relationship with a minor. If there was an innocent explanation for all of this, he needs to come out and let people know. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. I really hope the LAPD get to the bottom of this soon, but it is very frustrating. I'm sure you're feeling as frustrated as me. This is crazy. We're not milking it. We're keeping Celeste's name alive. We're keeping the fight for justice going. No one's going to let us forget about this. If we just forget about this, stop talking about this, next thing you know, David's got another tour and we all moved on. Absolutely not. You will not pass go. You'll not collect $200. We need to have somebody in jail for what happened to that little girl. Rest in peace, Celeste, man. I will keep you updated on any new info. I do actually have a bunch of links that I want to update you on the David story over the next couple of days, but it's not anything that's super substantial. So, you know, I'll give you a couple of little small updates when I feel like it. But for me, this rumor that, you know, he was maybe in rehab and people are wondering why the hell he hasn't been arrested. And whenever Steve tweets, that's always a good time to just, you know, consolidate what's going on and actually see what he's talking about, because he is pretty knowledgeable about this, even though people don't like him. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm probably going to wrap it up today. I'll catch you tomorrow with some more topics. Thank you so much for watching and supporting as always. And I'm out of here, folks. Peace out.